Race fans, welcome on in. It is time for the Cardano Summit Showdown here at Auto Club Speedway. And man, oh man, it is race day as usual. You're watching race day, but you also might be watching from ASRA iRacing on X. So welcome into all the X folks in online right there. Awesome to see multi-streaming for the first time on race day. We're trying it. Might be a little funky here and there, but we're going to try it. Different crowd. So welcome in, folks. Right now, it is, again, the Cardano Summit Showdown here in Auto Club, the second to last race in the regular season championship. My, oh my, the schedule for the ASRA Harpoon Design Cup Series. And right now, we're getting into qualifying already underway. Let's go down trackside, take a look. Definitely a party-like atmosphere tonight, folks. Auto Club is one of these tracks that people just adore and love. Obviously, the real world counterpart is gone / going away, but man, it lives on here virtually in iRacing. A lot of these guys today looking to get their win, looking to get their playoff ticket here at Auto Club. Michael Johnson currently on the pole with that 40-11, looking really good. Trevor Zelazny right there as well. Nick Lights. A lot of guys right now making their way out. Qualifying laps, different strats right now going on, obviously. Grant Celzano looking to make the job done here today, too. 30-plus drivers today in the field looking to get, again, that huge win today if they can. Either way, this race is going to end not necessarily at night, but pretty darn close to nighttime. Going to be a sunset race. A lot of this race will be ran in the sunlight. Obviously, the track handles better. The cars are a little bit looser. And these setups definitely going to be getting tighter as the race goes on. But man, these setups, let's talk about them. Premier Setup Shop does a crazy good job every single time. And they are on the board today as well. So looking pretty good. Matthew Fleming as well comes around turn 3 and turn 4. Going to be coming off here, practicing that in-lap. There it is. So comes in onto pit road. Julio Villalobos. There he is. Frankie Barroso. Looking pretty slow right here. So a couple of seconds left to go in qualifying. Only a 5-minute session. And then we'll go to our... Uh-oh. Villalobos might have given that lap up. But all good. Grant Celzano gives it up as well. So Michael Johnson going to be our pole sitter. Man, great job for him to get the pole P2. Trevor Zelazny, Nick Lights in 3rd. Andrew Phipps in 4th. Max Brady in P5. So really, really good stuff right there. Gonna get this thing going right now after qualifying. A couple of quirks to work out, folks, but hey, huge thanks to all of you who are either on the YouTube side or on the X side. Still trying to figure out how to look at chats from both of them at the same time, so forgive me on that, but pretty cool stuff as we get this race going. The Cardano Summit Showdown. We'll talk to a couple drivers today as we go. We'll bring in Devin Smecker throughout the race once or twice just to make sure we can talk to him about the session of the Cardano Summit Showdown, man. Some cool stuff going on down there. Right now, going to be a warm-up session real quick. They get 5 minutes just to kind of practice the in-laps, out-laps, things like that. So in the meantime, we'll go and thank some sponsors, folks. We'll come right back, and we'll get this race going. Stick around.
Fancy like Husky, fancy like Husky, fancy like Husky, fancy like Doggy bowl empty, Lakers pool sleeping, rug pull, cash grab, NFTs delight, rug pull, cash grab, idiot.
All right, folks, welcome back in to race day. And obviously, if you're on X right now, ASRA iRacing, big thanks to everybody who's checking us out on X. Great platform, and for the first time, multi-streaming onto it. So pretty cool. So mind the quirks that we might have. I'm sure we're going to have some at some point, but still trying to figure out certain chats and this and that. So we're going to get there, folks. But a great new audience for us. So cannot wait to get this thing going right now. The warm-ups are underway. High above Auto Club Speedway, man, this place is just so cool. I haven't been here, but man, this place is just, it's one of those places that you look at the circuit and you're like, I just wish it didn't go away, right, in the real world. But here we are, either way, and we're going to get this thing going very, very soon. Let's see if we can. I know we're a minute and a half away. Probably too soon. I was going to bring in Devin Smecker real quick just to talk about Cardano, talk about the Cardano Summit Showdown today. But we'll give him a break real quick. The nerves definitely kicking in, and obviously the race about to start here pretty soon. So about the race, it is 120 laps here in Auto Club. The first stage will end on lap 20. Second stage, lap 60. So they can go, field mileage is about 22, 23 laps if they really save. But typically about 22 laps. And the draft will play into that, obviously, and things like that. So I expect these guys to really be fine in the first stage. But stage 2, we're going to have to pit for sure. If it goes green, pitting for sure will happen. And then stage 3, man, hey, that's going to be at least 2 pit stops worth of tires, you know, obviously, and fuel too. So they only get 4 extra sets at the end of each show, actually for the whole race, really. So that will be pretty big. As we see Michael Johnson going around right now, practicing some laps here in our warm-up. About to get this race underway, the Cardano Summit Showdown. Really cool stuff right now. We are live, obviously, on race day on YouTube. So how you doing, folks, on the YouTube side of things, but also, again, the news side on X, formerly known as Twitter. Watching us live from at ASRA iRacing on X. So cool stuff. Big day today for us, obviously. And hey, say hi in the chat. Why not? Let us know that you're here. We'll talk to you all race along. But good stuff today. White flag is out. That's going to be it right there, obviously, for the warm-up. We're going to get back to trackside in just a second. We're going to get this thing going. Right now, we're going to get down to the grid. Man, 120 laps at this monster of a track. If you weren't here a second ago, again, we said it. Right now, it's going to start in the daytime, but we will, at some point, work our way into the sunset and into the night. Depending on how long this race is. Man, cannot wait to get this thing going. Pole sitter, going to be Michael Johnson on the P1 spot. Hasn't won a race yet this season, but man, he has come so close and currently sits as the top points contender. Right now, the regular season champion as we sit with 2 races left to go. Can he wrap it up? We are getting so close to finding out if that is the case. Today at Auto Club and the next week at Atlanta, will be our last regular season spot. Trevor Zelazny in P2, what a great qualifying effort for him. Nick Light's in 3rd spot. Andrew Phipps, there he is in P4. Max Brady in P5. Frankie Barroso in P6, Christian Angel, P7, Jared Kaler subbing in for that number 4 machine. We saw him last week at Long Beach. Came in P2, man. Really impressive for Jared Kaler. Brandon Bowie, P9. Devin Smecker, there he is. Look at that beautiful paint scheme. Whew. Hydra on Cardano machine, looking so good. Joseph Mealy, there he is, rounding out the top 10. Joshua Sobel, and then followed by Fleming, Brandon 6, Austin Salyers, Tyler Dohar, P16, Jackson Anderson, 17, Mark Whitley, P18, Thomas George, 19th, Kenny Reel, P20. Rounding out the field, the last 10, Harris, Villalobos, Ponce, James Kaufman, Grant Salzana, William Griffith, Daryl Young, Scott Gasorn, Timothy Stubblefield, and Dylan Bates, rounding out the 30 drivers today for this race. Big race today. A lot on the line to get this thing going. Big time stuff right here. If I'm seeing that right, 125 active viewers right now, according to my Streamlabs. Holy, love to see that. Hey, hit the like button, subscribe button. Well, I guess there's no subscribe button on X, I guess so. But just like the channel, you know, why not? Do us all a favor. And good stuff all around. So right now, going to be lap 1. 20 laps, keep in mind, is the mark we're going to get to. They can make it on fuel, so I expect this first 20 laps to be pretty wild. How is that draft going to work out? All kinds of crazy stuff going on. Huge thanks to our partners. Harpoon Design, there he is, Brentley in the chat. I see that. Good stuff. Harpoon Design. There's our partners right there too on the left side of your screen. Look at that, on cue. Premier, setup shops, amazing. Admin Box, Hosky, Cardano. Also, Whiplash Sim Cams. Man, go and check those guys out on Facebook. They are super good. And we get a lot of our information from them and camera. So, very impressive stuff. Also want to shout out Matthew Kent, who's also our race control tonight and has been majority of the season. So good stuff from him. Tell you what, he makes this thing work when we're not able to. So good stuff by Matthew Kent. But we're going to get this thing going. Pace car lights are off. Michael Johnson, Trevor Zelazny. I'll tell you what, Zelazny came so damn close to winning Talladega. Just couldn't quite get it by a fender. So what can Trevor do today? This is one of those tracks, I feel like, that if you're up front, if you have the track position, you can win, right? This is kind of a wild card-ish type of race. And then obviously we have Atlanta next week, which, as we know, it's kind of a mini super speedway, right? Mini Daytona. A lot can happen there too. So we've had 10 different winners in our first 11 races. Can we get 11 today? I think we can. We're going to find out, though, either way together. Pace car going to turn in right now. And we are going to go green flag racing here for the Cardano Summit Showdown. Let's get it going. Starter cam has the green flag in the air. The Geico restart zone is live. And we are green from Auto Club. And just like that, one lap around Auto Club is so quick. And we have a 3-wide battle here for the lead. Nick Light's way down low, trying to make it work on the inside lane. That'll work for the most part. The tighter these cars get, the more that low line will work. The outside lane might work for now in the daytime. But as the track and as the cars tighten up, that'll come a little less. But man, look at this 3 and 2 wide all the way around this track. Christian Angel working down low outside of Jared Kaler. Look at Braden 6 forcing the issue up high. A lot of these guys will know they can make it work early. They can't make it work later on. Brandon Bowie going to get trapped right here too in 14th spot. That breast cancer awareness Gremlins cards machine. Looking really good so far right now. Look at this. Michael Johnson has the sole lead right here in P1 on the backstretch of Auto Club. A fan favorite. Look at this. Devin Smecker already down low, working inside that top 10. Working the inside of Jared Kaler. Let's ride on board. And here he is, Devin Smecker in that Cardano Summit Showdown machine. Look at this thing. Just sends it into turn one. Look how good he looks. Wheel very minimized right here. That puppy's turning real nice. Fresh tires, staying on the inside lane, has pressure from the behind Christian Angel. And you heard that upshift too, so they're going to be downshifting into fourth gear. Really helps them kind of turn into the corner. Hug that apron. You don't want to get below it. That'll kick that car left. But man, look at this dogfight right here. Looking so good into that top 10. Expect this kind of racing the entire time. Very impressive stuff so far. Lap 5 already, folks. 15 to go for the end of stage 1. Oh, big moment right there. Christian Angel, I think that was, gets into the wall. He's right in front of his teammate, Joshua Sobel. Not sure what went down there, excuse me, but don't see really any damage to that right side. That's good, but you'll see that happening kind of a lot, really. Once these cars tighten up, second half of this race, especially out of turn 4, they get pretty tight. And man, look at this. Good stuff. 2 and 3 and 4 wide. All these lanes really being activated right now. Andrew Phipps making a move here, getting pushed by Jackson Anderson. Anderson going to now try and go on the high line. Max Brady is there too, so these guys might be 3 wide here in just a second. They tail off Nick Lights, really kind of falling back here, but up at the front, Trevor Zelazny, look at this. Leads a lap here in Auto Club. Zelazny, I'll tell you what, he's got a hot rod today in that 23 Flem Dogs machine. These boys know what they're doing over at Flem Dogs. Giving these guys fast rides today. Michael Johnson looking very, very fast as usual. Gets that heavy bump draft from Zelazny. Man, looking really good. Max Brady here in third spot, up high though. Really making it work. If you notice, this thing up high can really work as a passing lane, especially early on, but I really stick to it. Later this race goes, we're going to see these cars getting tighter as the sun goes down. More grip, really, is the case. And that bottom line will be a lot more predominant as we see it. Really impressive stuff so far, though. Michael Johnson still leads the pack right here. Don't forget about the back of the field, too. These guys racing pretty tough. William Griffith back here, Daryl Young. Don't think these guys have damage. I really just think they're kind of holding back. We saw Tyler Dohar win Indianapolis by doing this, right? So watch out for these guys. Grant Cesano, Dohar, Young. These guys are all Harpoon Design drivers. They're not back here on purpose, I can promise you that. So watch out for them later on in this race. Marshall Harris back here. 22nd, James Kaufman not doing too bad either in 23rd. Again, a lot of the case in this place is that, hey, there's room to race, but you can be patient. You can get around these guys nice and clean when you have to. So far, really, really good stuff. Zoom in real quick. There's that number 26, Stefan Smecker. Take a good look at that thing right there. There it is. Hydra on Cardano. What a great looking paint scheme right there. The Doom guy on the back quarter panel. I think that is good stuff. And we love that. So right now, halfway through stage 1. And again, this is going to be, I really feel like, a track position race. You want to be up at the front as much as you can. Mark Whitley, a top 5 right now in P5. This is a guy, keep in mind, he won his first championship here at this track, Auto Club, in season 5, I believe, or 4, excuse me. So he can get this thing done today. He knows how to race it. And that paint scheme, man, has brought him good luck recently. So I think today might be a good day for Mark. Right now, he sits outside the top 12 to get into the Championship 12 playoffs. But I'll tell you what, I've got a feeling that won't be for much longer. Steve said Hydra. Everybody drink. Okay, well, hey, I guess that means me too. I'll play the game. Why not? Michael Johnson, man, really making this thing work. And again, the draft is so key here. But one thing that we've mentioned also is clean air. Clean air. You know, I just been practicing too myself last night, and one, I'm awfully slow, but two, I noticed, man, how crazy the draft can be here, but also the dirty air. It just really tightens that car. Look at that. Devin Srecker just came across the nose of Brandon Six there. Again, it's possible, but Michael Johnson's car right now, I can promise you, rides so much better as Zelazny makes the same move Michael Johnson's been using. But look at the crossover right here. Johnson's going to get a run. And there it is. Has enough speed right here. Man, really impressive run. Zelazny going to get a bit of an inch right there. Brady going to get a great run on the outside here. He might have enough steam to make a move into turn one. We'll see it. Man, really, really impressive racing so far. Smecker, look at him making that move 3 wide. It was pretty tight. Decided against it. A lot of these guys pushing different drivers. It all comes down to having friends, right? Who are your friends? Brandon Bowie back into the action now and to P9, P8. Really good stuff right here. These guys are pushing. I can promise you, nobody is holding back right now. They can all make it on fuel. They have 4 additional sets of tires after this. So it's just a push to get those stage points. And as we get closer to the championship, man, it is dire straits for a lot of these guys. 6 into the car right there. Ooh, big checkup. Couple of guys. Oh no, Sobel. Big wreck in the back right here. Sobel. They're going to go around with Fleming. And that's lap 15, so that will be our stage end. Wait to get confirmation, obviously, from race control, but if a caution does come out before the 5 laps before a scheduled stage, that will be called the stage end. And right there, Trevor Zelazny should be our stage winner. We'll wait to get feedback in just a second, but I believe that is the case. So, man, Trevor Zelazny with a huge stage win right here. Get himself a playoff point. Still looking to get himself into the top 12 for the playoffs, but man, crazy stuff. Let's see if we can real quick while we wait confirmation here on that yellow flag. What happens? What actually happened here? We'll go back if we can. It's already kind of going down there. So yeah, Sobel and Fleming. I believe it actually involved Christian Angel, I believe, a little earlier on. So you'll see him kind of stack up here. So middle top of your picture, the yellow and blue car. Almost 4 wide right there with Salyers. Yeah, Christian Angel bobbles that pink car. Yeah, just a stack up. That's all that was really. 4 wide in front. These guys trying to do everything they can to kind of get around it or whatnot. But those things can happen right there. And it did that time. So yes, that is the case, folks. Trevor Zelazny is going to be your stage winner. Oh, blows past his pit box. No. That is bad news bears. So he'll definitely lose some spots right here. But everyone comes down pit road as we expected. 4 tires, full of fuel. Really good stuff already here from Auto Club. Now this makes things a little bit weird for the end of stage 2. We'll get to that in just a second. Right now, though, we're going to bring in Trevor Zelazny, who is the stage 1 winner. Let's sneak him in. Where is he? There he is. See if we can bring him in real quick. Where is Mr. Zelazny? Aha. Mr. Zelazny, how's it going today? You got me?
I got you. How's it going?
Hey, man, pretty good stuff right there. And obviously right now, even better for you. P1, you got the stage win. Man, really dicey up there, but really, really good racing so far early on into this race. How's it feel, man? Stage winner.
First ever stage win that I've got here. I know I qualified P2. That's my best ever qualifying position in the league. So I feel like we really got the ball rolling. Now if we could just stay up front and keep it going, we'll be doing pretty good today. I don't know. It's dicey. It's fun. It's tight at first couple laps, and then it gets rolling. I was kind of riding behind Michael for a little bit till my teammates Flagship and Flem Dogs behind me got straightened out, and then we kind of freight trained him. So it's going pretty good so far.
Love that, man. Really impressive so far. Good luck rest of the way, dude. It's been fun to watch.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right, there he is. Trevor Zelazny, man, trying to do what he can. A win today would be absolutely huge for him. It could happen, for sure, the way he's looking today. Up front, though, Max Brady, Jackson Anderson going to be our new leaders as we get this race back going. Jared Kaler right there involved. Mark Whitley still in the top 5, so lots of good things going on in this field. Again, huge thanks to Cardano today for the Cardano Summit Shootout. Or Showdown, excuse me, and really good stuff. And man, a lot of cool people watching today on the YouTube side, so hello to you. Also now on the X side of things, man, 201 viewers as of right now. Incredible. I believe that's a combination of X and YouTube, so shout out to you guys. Really cool stuff. But right now we're going to get stage 2 back underway. And this is going to be interesting because stage 2 begins a little bit sooner than what it should have been. So fuel strategies might be a little bit different here. We're going to find out. Green flag about to be in the air once more. Geico restart zone, and off we go. Max Brady, Trevor Zelazny up front. Impressive stuff so far. We're seeing Max Brady has the lead of the race. Right behind him, Anderson, Zelazny. A bunch of guys are now looking very, very good. And a couple of more too. Really, I feel like we're struggling right now. A couple of guys I'm looking at. Brandon 6 in the back of the field here. 24th spot. Dohar, 27th. Michael Johnson, 28th. So like, what is going on with these guys? Again, it could be strategy, could be holding on to tires, right? A couple of these guys want to maybe even save some tires for the end of the race. That is usually a huge thing to do too. Frankie Barroso had a bobble right there for a second, but keeps it back going in that race day machine. Mark Whitley right there too, going to squeeze it in middle. Look at him go. Good move for Whitley. In that 77, two-time champion here in the ASRA. Doing a really, really good job early on. 21 laps into this race. And right now, I mean, even 21 laps into this race, guys, I can really see it is just hard to get to the front. I mean, we're seeing guys do it, right? Bowie, Whitley, they're definitely making it happen. But I think they definitely, look at Whitley right here, going to make a move for the lead. Up against Max Brady. I told you earlier, this is a track that Whitley can really win. Max is going to squeeze him a bit here. I like this move, though. Look at Bowie doing the same thing. I feel like, hey, you know what? Use your tires up now to get to the front and then maintain the track position in that clean air. If that's their go-to mentality here, I like it. I think that really is going to help them as the stage continues. So Mark Whitley up to the front of the lead right now and crosses that line. There he goes. Good stuff. Everyone doing their thing. Nick Lights has Cardano on the side of that machine. Let's take a ride on board real quick. He is getting really close to that lead right here in the front. So right now, Nick Lights making it work right behind Max Brady. Nick Lights has no win yet this season, but I'll tell you what, this is a track where he can really make it happen. Historically, he's been very, very good at 2 mile and over tracks. And look at this. You can see and hear the wheels squealing. And man, just a really good job right here by Nick Lights. You can tell the aggression level's definitely picked up, but man, this place is just so wide. And he wants that clean air. Going to try and dive underneath too. Really good move here. Nick Lights looking very, very fast early on. But look at these guys up front. Whitley and Bowie. I think this is the strat for them. You know, get out front and then blow their doors off and hold on to that clean air. I really think that's the case right here. 24 laps into this race. Good stuff. Quick update on some more drivers, though. Back in the pack, Daryl Young. Right now in 30th spot. Let's take a look at his car. I don't think he has damage. Yeah, no damage for him right here. No scuff marks or anything, so might just be riding it out. Trying something different. Dohar, the same. Sobel. Michael Johnson up here as well. So, again, maybe some pit road issues. We'll try and work on that for you guys to find out what is going on. Stubblefield back there as well. Brandon 6. But again, this could be a case of maybe holding on to a tire set, not being too worried about stage 2. Thomas George. Celzano. Ooh, big yellow flag here. Oh, Max Brady. Oh, huge wreck here on the front stretch. This was at the beginning. The front of the pack. Big mess right here. Villalobos, Celzano. What happened here? Man, oh man, going through the field, and Max Brady, I believe at the time, was 3rd spot. Let's go back and take a look at what went down here, but man, crazy stuff. In a big wreck. Try and find right where it happens. So Max Brady, man. Okay, so up front, try and get a look here. This might be early, but we'll let it play out. Oh man, into Devin Smecker in the 1. They kind of in tandem hit the wall. And then unfortunately going to be a huge, Pont going to be in big right there. Mealy going to be around here. Kaler might get through this. Not really. Oh no. Just a huge wreck. Mealy going to be involved quite heavily. Brady as well. Looks like that's Frankie Brosso spinning through. I don't think he has damage though from that. Christian Angel going to get involved here. Hits the side of Mealy. Villalobos, oh man, just a huge wreck. Gasorn, I saw. Brandon 6 squeezes through. I just saw that. Man, tough break for these guys. It can happen that fast, folks. A wreck. You just never know. And I talked about it earlier, right? This turn 4 is going to get tight, especially on older tires. These tires really aren't that old. They're about 7 laps old at this point. So, but definitely hard hit for a couple of these guys. Unfortunately, Max Brady going to be looking to get a spot back here. It would appear, but Smecker had some damage on the front. Or he was kind of involved in that, but I don't see any damage there, so he might be okay here. Good to see. We'll have them sorted out real quick, folks. We'll step aside for a second, thanks to some sponsors, and we'll come right back. All right, welcome back once more to the Cardano Summit Showdown here in Auto Club. After a huge wreck right here, a lot of these guys are going to have to fix some damage throughout this stage. But this kind of changes a lot right here. So, different players up front. Some guys come down to pit. Different things going on. But right here, Lights and Smack are going to be up front. Teammates, Murphy Esports, up front right now. So, Pacer going to turn down left. We're going to go back green here and get this race back going. Second caution of the day. And here we go. Back green flag. Really good stuff so far. Nick Light's going to be leading the field. Devin Smacker in second, excuse me. Dylan Bates in third spot. Man, Dylan Bates up 26 spots on the day already in the first 29 laps. He is not messing around today. Really, really good run for him so far. A couple of guys further on. Mark Whitley dropped a couple spots here. Frankie Brosso as well. So a couple of these guys tangled up, obviously, in that big wreck, but plenty of laps still to go, 90 in fact. So seeing a couple of these guys. Man, look at William Griffith. Look at this dude. 11th spot right now. Man, looking real good. P11, up 15 spots. Awesome job today so far by him. And hey, that's what it takes, right? Sometimes you just got to be, obviously, really good at tracks like this, but also kind of get through the madness. And he did that. So he puts himself in a great spot. Same thing with Salyers. Really, really impressive so far. P11 right here for him. That 19 machine right there. Looking very, very good. Bunch of these guys single file right now in the back, which makes sense. Oh no, Christian Angel. Quick feedback here. Really pretty well dinged up front end right there. And that's kind of the story of his season so far, right? And he'll know I like to bag on him quite a bit, but it's all in good fun. But man, he again today started really, really well. 7th I believe it was, and right now down to 27th, and a beat up left rear, right, or left front. No fault of his own, but man, just waiting for him to get that luck turned around for sure, because he is definitely a kind of guy who can find himself in this championship hunt. Sprecher still in P2. Brandon Bowie making it work as well down low. Really good stuff so far. A couple of teammates here working together. Michael Johnson. Where are they? Johnson, 6, and Frankie Barroso all in a line right here. So potentially drafting all together. Jump on board. Jackson Anderson here, kind of in that mix right here as we see it. A lot of these guys are downshifting. And right now you can kind of see it. The sun's not going down per se just yet, but it definitely will. About 20 or 30 more laps, we'll start to see that sun get in their eyes. And that will be pretty fun to watch. Driving into third, turn 3 is when it gets really, really hairy. So pretty cool stuff here. Nick Light's obviously in P1, but not too far back. Brandon Bowie. I'll tell you what, as of late, you talk about storylines and narratives, right, as the season goes. And beginning of this season, man, looked really good for Brandon Bowie, right? And won the race at I believe it was Homestead, and then kind of had a summer slump, I guess you could call it, within this season. Just didn't really do too hot. But then lately, man, he has just come alive. Indianapolis ran really well. Long Beach, obviously, right now is the leader currently in the same state Showdown as well, which wraps up today. So Long Beach last week and Auto Club today. So 2 back-to-back California tracks, kind of a little mini 2-race championship. You can check out the standings on our X at ASRA iRacing. Standings are all right there on our feed, so cool stuff. Brandon Bowie looking to get that crown today as well, so a championship favorite for sure. Mark Whitley right behind him as well. Mark Whitley right outside that top 12 currently is the leader in our secondary championship, the Contender Series playoffs. So just needs a little bit of luck here to get himself into that top 12. Still can happen. A long way to go here, and then obviously Atlanta next week. Man, Brandon 6 right in the middle of it. 4 wide right here. Matthew Pont, Marshall Harris as well. A lot of these guys just fighting for it right here. Brandon 6 again, another one, right? Another one of these guys who you just know they're going to win at some point, right? But then you're like, when's it going to happen? Because it hasn't happened yet. Former champion, as we know, and man, just hasn't been able to get that win column, or in that win column just yet. But I'll tell you what, it is coming. Kenny Reel and P6 right here fighting alongside Austin Sowers. Man, these guys really putting on a show right here. Look at this. Nice and tight racing for the top 5. You'll notice that number 11 car won last week at Long Beach by James Thurston. Subbed in for Kenny Reel, and man, made that look really, really good. So impressive job there. Kenny Reel blocks the high line for Michael Johnson. Doing a really good job there too. So Kenny Reel back behind the seat. Good effort right now so far. So Michael Johnson, I'll tell you what, looks extremely fast. Not too long ago, he was in the back of the field. I think we covered it, 28th, I believe he was at one point. I think that was pre that big race. So right now, or the big wreck, excuse me. So P6 for him right now. It just seems like he can kind of go wherever he wants to on the track, and that's a dangerous man to be. Could we see Michael Johnson's first win in this series, man? It's been a long time coming. It could be today. Mark Whitley back up front. Look at this. Lots of lead changes today. Nick Lights was there. Mark Whitley as well. And then Brandon Bowie. Devin Smacker as well. I mean, we have some big guys here up front. Kind of the usual suspects from seasons past. But a lot of these guys, you know, haven't gotten the wins, right? Whitley, Lights. Their day is due for sure. And man, 39 laps into this race. Already a banger for sure as we get down to it. So, as I was saying before about the strategy, I think this is going to be key. William Griffith way off track here. Coming down pit road, actually. Okay, green flag pit stops on lap 40. A bunch of these guys coming down pit road. And I was just about to get into fuel strat. Interestingly enough. But so these guys all coming down pit road here. And the fuel window is open. I like this move because now you can take the tires, which they are. They can come down, fill up the fuel. They have enough to go the end of the stage. Now, obviously, they're taking tires now, so they're not going to have enough or an extra set in stage 3. But that's kind of the risk you take, right? Do you think this race is going to go green, the majority of it? Or do you think there'll be a lot of yellows? That's the tough part. The flip side, Auto Club is one of those places that you don't really need new tires at all times. It does help, but they don't make a massive difference in track time. So, and look at this. Dylan Bates takes the field, but no tires. Didn't see that right side get jacked up. So that's the situation a lot of these guys are going to be in. Mark Whitley still leads this race in P1. This top 4, I'll tell you what, look very dangerous. Michael Johnson right behind him too. He's catching. And these two guys right here, I'll tell you, there's a couple of drivers in this field. Man, if last laps were just a little bit different, right? I look at Michael Johnson, man. If Dover was just a little bit different on the last lap, Michael Johnson wins at Dover over Blaze Crawford. And then Austin Salyers, right? You go back to Kansas. when Smecker won. I believe it was Kansas. He won that race off of kind of a pit strategy. Salyers, though, got passed, I believe, in the last lap by Smecker. Smecker probably could have given him a bit of a shot, but chose not to. So really, really impressive by those guys to not do that. So you learn who a driver is in moments like that. And I'll tell you what, Johnson and Salyers are pure class. Absolutely. So good racing so far. A couple of more takers. Brandon 6 comes down pit road. Going to be taking the tires. Look at this. Right side going up. I'm going to guess the left side will go up as well. No. So 2 right side tires it is. Villalobos. A couple more leaders. Murphy Esport drivers come down pit road. Lights and Smecker. And right now we're within, keep in mind, 16 laps before stage 2 ends. So we are well within the fuel mileage. It's just a matter of when do you pit. Brandon Bowie gets around Mark Whitley here. Kenny Reel going to be on the tail end of that lead lap as we see it. Mark Whitley might be holding on and coming down pit road here. Looks like he's slowing down. Oh, maybe not. Okay, sometimes they take that low line to kind of get themselves ready, but that is not the case this time. Good stuff. 45 laps in. Take a quick second to say thank you, folks, for watching us here on Race Day on YouTube, but also, hey, on the ASRA X page. Man, look at this. 262. Am I reading that right? 262 people are tuned in. Man, appreciate you guys big time. Awesome to see. Whitley going to dive down low here for Kenny Reel. Kenny Reel's not doing a great job of, you know, blocking, or not, I guess not blocking, but, you know, getting out of the way. But you know what? This is the thing. He doesn't want to be a lap down. He wants to be on that lead lap. So this is completely viable to stay up front and to do what he can. Dylan Bates in that same boat for the most part up front, looking to remain on the lead lap. Salyers really pulling up ahead now into 3rd spot. Looks like Salyers, I will say, has done a great job of holding on to his tires. He's coming on strong late. Ooh, bumps the back end of Johnson. Kind of sends him, actually, on entry of turn 3. Either way, though, man, look at that crossover move. Salyers looks very, very good right now in P2. Making a move here. It looks like he definitely held on to his tires. He's going to pass Whitley here almost effortlessly. He's going to dive down here. Look at this. So Salyers to the front. That 19 machine not wasting any time. Really impressive stuff right here by Austin Salyers. Man, leaders all over the place. Lead changes. We love this racing. Good to see. Couple more takers. Phipps and Sobel come down pit road. Sobel was involved in that wreck earlier on. Doesn't look terrible as far as damage, but definitely some more to fix as he continues. Max Brady comes down pit road now. He was involved pretty handily as well. Already has that win, though, so good to go for the playoffs. You can afford a bad race like this here and there if you have to, but you don't want it to be, you know, an all-the-time thing, but it can happen. Looking really good for all these guys. Lap 48, we're 12 laps away from the end of stage 2, which will also be the halfway point. Mark Whitley comes down pit road here. Here we go. Brandon Bowie as well, but does he get it? Oh, no! Into the wall there on the inside. Tried to slow down too hard. Fleming as well comes down. That might not lose a lot of time for Bowie, but that's going to a huge impact on his time. And also, too, did he slide through too fast, right? Does he have a penalty? We will find out if it holds him. Whitley, clearly just taking the fuel, no tires. Smart move there, I like that. Bowie, fuel only, off he goes. Okay, good. Christian Angel comes down. Fleming, fuel only, it would appear like. All right. Good effort all around. Brandon 6 gets through, so he's going to be back on the lead lap in case a caution comes out. That's huge right there. Barroso comes down pit road. Again, he was also involved, slid through the grass on that big wreck at the beginning of stage 2, but did not get involved, I believe, heavily. Kaufman has some right side damage there. Not too bad. Thomas George, here we go. Comes down, some right side damage as well. Man, I'll tell you what, this is another guy, Thomas George. I've raced with him before in other leagues, and he is extremely fast. He just hasn't had the luck, quite frankly, in his first season here in ASRA. Here comes Austin Sires, the leader, onto pit road. Marshall Harris, Salzano, Ponce. I believe that's Mealy in the background. Yes, it is. A lot of these guys coming down pit road. That'll inherit the lead, I believe. Not Daryl Young just yet, but Michael Johnson still out there. And this is what makes, I feel like, our races in ASRA very, very different. We're going to see long green flag runs here. So far we have. Michael Johnson comes down pit road. Bunch of these guys still doing their thing. Here we go. Michael Johnson down pit road. Stubblefield, here we go. Nice entry onto pit road for him. Take a look at that ride, man. Look at this. The Barber Company. Love this paint scheme, dude. Good stuff here. What does Stubblefield do here? He's kind of been looking pretty good today. Fuel only, it would appear like. Little damage fix. We saw that bump in on the front bumper. Off he goes. So good stuff. And Tyler Dohar right now inherits the lead. You'll know this car and this driver from winning Indianapolis a couple weeks ago. Man, he stole that one. But he did it in a way where it was earned, right? It was an earned steal. I believe there might be a baseball term for stolen bases. But man, he did such a great job by holding out on the fuel. Made it kind of like what Logano did this past week at Vegas, right? Similar in a way. Had all the fast guys coming behind him. But man, Dohar did such a good job by winning that race and getting himself in. Gassoren and Daryl Young now pitting. Daryl Young blew past his pit box just a little bit, man. That Wicked Cushions machine, I'll tell you what. Harpoon Design, they know how to make a paint scheme, folks. I might be biased, but go check them out. harpoondesign.com. Dohar, here he comes, down pit road. Nice and clean. No speeding. The only person I really saw who had an issue on pit road was Bowie. Locked him up, hit the inside wall, but not too hard. So we'll watch out for that as we get going here. But Dohar going to come down pit road. 6 laps to go in stage 2. And look at this. This will be the lead as we get back to it. Whitley, Lights, and Smecker. Oh my. Tight battle here. So as Dohar is on pit road right now, this will be the lead. After green flag pit stops, which they are now done. Brandon 6, look at this. Worked his way back up to P4. I'll tell you what, he's onto something special right now because he was not necessarily in the back, but he was kind of laying back a bit. And here he is, took the 2 tires on the 2 right side tires. And man, he is closing in fast. A lot of these guys took no tires, obviously. So Brandon 6 taking the 2. This might be it. Or it might be enough for him to get that stage 2 win. And a smart move, right? Get that clean air at the beginning of stage 3 when you need it. I like the move, but Whitley and Smecker, what do they have for him? Can they hold him off? Man, it might not be enough. Look at how fast these guys are. Gonna ride on board real quick. Smecker, he is right in the middle of this. Throw a blanket over that top 3 right here. Whitley on the outside. 6 just sends it on in right there. Slide job into turn 3, not to turn 4. Brandon 6 right now inherits the lead with 5. Come 4 laps to go here for stage 2. So far, an amazing job. 6 does what he typically doesn't like to do. He's not typically one of those guys who will take tires in stage 2 to try and get the stage points, but you know what? This time he does, and I think that could be the key factor here. Smecker going to be in P2, looking very, very good. We're going to try and bring him in here in a second after we bring in the stage winner. Austin Salyers, another great performance. Man, what does he have for these boys today? Can he get this thing done and steal one? Why not? Nick Lights, Mark Whitley, all looking very, very fast. Michael Johnson not too far back either in P6. Couple laps to go. Couple of guys in the back of the field here. 22nd, Stubblefield. Joshua Sobel gets through all that right now, 23rd spot. So just outside that top 20. Not too bad. A couple of more guys. Daryl Young, Joseph Mealy in the top 25. So bunch of guys here still fighting for everything they can. Dohar, by the way, after all that comes out P14, so not terrible, really. About halfway in the pack. Frankie right there, too. So a bunch of these guys. Brandon Bowie, after his little bobble coming down pit road, now we see him P11. But that definitely cost him some time. But all in all, not doing too bad. Jared Kaler, again, subbing in for that number 4, his 3rd race. Man, looking pretty good. P9 so far. Very, very good job. Up front, though, look no further than the 66. Brandon Six, man, is just gone. Looks like he'll be taking stage 2 for sure with this, but P2, Devin Sprecher right there as well. Salyers, man, Salyers might have enough here to get P2 from Sprecher. Either way, a couple of corners away now from the end of stage 2, and Brandon Six has locked it down. And there he is. Brandon Six going to come around, take the checkered flag here for stage 2. And there it is. Stage 2 winner, Brandon Six. It's about damn time we call that name out for some kind of a win. And there he is. I'll tell you what, that's a dangerous man right there to win stage 2. Right now has the second half of the race to maintain that spot. He's the guy who can do it. We'll see how that works out in just a second. But man, awesome, awesome stuff. Sprecher P2. Salyers 3rd spot. Nick Lights and then Mark Whitley rounds out the top 5. Top 10 running order. Johnson, Zelazny, Anderson, Kaler, and then Kenny Reel. So good stuff by these guys. We're going to let them come down pit road in just a second. We'll thank some sponsors real quick, folks. And we'll talk to your stage winner. Stick around. Welcome back, folks, to race day. This is going to be the Cardano Summit Showdown, and right now we're in the middle at the end of stage 2, middle of stage 3, and right now we're going to be pit road time. Everyone comes down pit road. Brandon Six, your stage 2 winner. Right now, what do they do to get the stage 3 underway? 2 tires, 4 tires. Brandon Six going to take 4 tires here, so interesting call here. Good move by a lot of these guys. We'll see what they do. Fuel, obviously, is going to be key. 4 tires. And off we go. Brandon Six going to be leading us off of pit road. And there's the field. some damage to fix by a lot of these drivers and whatnot. Good stuff. Let's bring in Brandon 6 real quick, obviously. Talk to him about his stage 2 win. Brandon 6, there he is, a name we love to hear, man. Look at this, P1 in stage 2, looking pretty quick. Obviously, I think we saw that you took 2 tires on the rights there to get that win. You blew by the top 5, man. Looking pretty good, pretty fast, obviously. I'm guessing you wanted to set yourself up for stage 3, get that clean air, be up front, man. How do you feel?
Kind of rusty right now. I messed up on my first pit stop. I completely blew by it. I did not know where it was. My spotter was counting me down. I'm looking left. I just couldn't find it. So I'm like, put myself in the back, kind of threw some track position away, which is very important here. So I just need to try and keep it. And my strategy was to just save a set of tires until the middle of stage 2 there, and hopefully I can make it all up. And I didn't know if I'd get to the lead, it being I was so far back there, but those tires were so much faster than the rest of the field that it was kind of walking the park.
Yeah, I mean, really good stuff, man. Obviously, looking to get your first win of the season so far today. And right now, looking pretty good. A lot of competition, a lot of lead changes we've seen. So, second half of this race sounds like it's going to be pretty interesting. Sun's going down, obviously. Maybe tightens up. But, hey, either way, good stuff today, man. Good luck second half of this race, man.
Sure, thank you.
There he is, Brandon 6. Doing good today. And up front. So, folks, this is going to be second half of this race underway here in just a second. So far, good stuff. Lap 63. So right now, we're going to be green all the way. No more scheduled yellow flags. No more stages. Only 2, obviously, on the race. So going green here with on lap 64. So again, they can pit about every 20 or so laps, 22 laps. So definitely expect 2 more green flag pit stops if this thing were to stay green, obviously. We've had 2 cautions so far today. But a lot can happen. Great racing nonetheless. Brandon 6, Devin Smecker up front. We're going to kick this thing off with the Harpoon design, bring the noise. Let's get it back. Stage 3 underway. Just like that, man. Unbelievable. Thank you to Harpoon Design for that segment. As always a good time. Right now in the lead, Brandon 6, but how long? Look at this field right now. 2 and 3 wide behind him. Everyone's going for it. Long way to go. A little bit less than half the race, so the pressure doesn't need to necessarily happen now, but everybody wants to get to that front pack and control that clean air. That is the case. Great racing all around this track. 3 wide right behind him. Jared Kaler up high. Dylan Bates making a move too. Dylan Bates, by the way, is in this top 12, but hasn't really had the stage points to do it. Kenny Real up in the wall right here, going to be in trouble just a little bit, loses some steam. Really impressive stuff right now. The leader, though, Brandon 6, going to get pressure here from Devin Smecker. Ride on board this Hydra by Cardano machine real quick. Take a look at what he's dealing with. He's down a part of that low line, doesn't have that draft. You saw the outside lane, how they were all in a single file. That draft is so key as they continue. Smecker going to really try and get this thing going. On the high lane, he's got Brandon Bowie behind him. Trevor Zelazny, though, right behind him as well, and he's looking very, very fast, as we've seen. Impressive runs all around. Jackson Anderson makes a move here for the lead. Shoots way down low onto the apron. That's legal. You can do it. Shortens that front stretch up by a little bit. And here's the thing too about that number one spot. You don't have anybody to the high or to the low of you, so you can really arc the corner the way you want to. And you'll see, you know, Brandon 6 do that now. He can really start off high, kind of apex low. Didn't really do it there as much as I would have saw back in turns 1 and 2, but either way, really, really good run here. Anderson going to still try and push to get it. But look at the back of the field. Dylan Bates, 3 wide right here. Frankie Broso involved there too. Fleming, Grant Salzano. All intertwined here on lap 70. So 50 laps to go. Ooh, Matthew Pond and Dylan Bates. Little smackaroo there to the side. You gotta be careful. Up front, though, Jackson Anderson takes the lead over. Daytona 250 winner up to the front. But how long will those tires last? You don't want to waste them. If this thing stays green, who has enough tires to get to the end and comfortably, right? They will matter at some point on a long green flag run, but man, oh man. Impressive to see the outside lane. And hey, we thought earlier on in the race that, man, we thought that this outside line might not be as effective as, I believe, Lights and Johnson just got involved there a little bit. Man, really, really tight. Bobbing and weaving all over the place. But we thought the high line might not work late in this race because it's going to get tighter, right? The surface will get tighter. Anderson in the wall right there. These guys are going at it, man. Get that chopper view 3 wide there. Michael Johnson going to sneak in to the inside lane. Ooh, little bobble from Whitley. Nick Lights got into him a little bit. Braking zones are different for people too, and that definitely plays a role. When you're so close to people, left and right, that can happen. Brandon Bowie here too, in P7, making a great comeback after his pit road issue. Came in way too hot. Didn't get penalized, I believe, but definitely slowed him down by hitting the inside wall. So looking pretty good so far. Austin Salyers still there too in P4. It's looking so good. This whole pack, man, just able to run this close together. Really tells you the talent level of this field for sure. Michael Johnson battling his teammate here. Brandon 6. Believe they touched door to door. Might be an interesting conversation later on in the over in the team, but everyone's trying to go for that win, right? There's just so much at stake. Michael Johnson trying to get that regular season championship as well. I mean, hey, he might not necessarily get the win or whatnot, try and go for the win, but he's definitely going for that regular season championship. And man, He is right there. Brandon 6 can challenge for it, obviously, in the point standings, but Johnson trying to make it happen. Smacker 3 wide right here. Really tight between Bowie. The gyro cam right now on board Smacker, that 26 machine. This is a really good angle, folks, to see just the angle of these corners, the banking. Pretty well banked here. And man, look at this, downshifting hard, outside lane. That sun, you can see it right there, starting to kind of peek through. 10 or 15 more laps, we'll see that really start to play a role as he kisses the wall here. Oh, big wreck! Oh my word, what was that? Huge mess right here. I believe that was Kaler and also Kenny Reel involved. Right now on lap 46, or 76, excuse me. Oh man. And we kind of expected to see something like this, right? Where, man, it's just tight racing 2 and 3 wide. This is just kind of bound to happen. This kind of an incident. But that was pretty quick. We'll go back real quick and see if we can find out what actually happened. But man, that was pretty close. Oh, Johnson comes down here, it looks like. Yeah, Johnson kind of squeezes way down, gets involved. So we have to go way back further, it looks like. Oh, yeah. Okay, I see it up ahead. We're going to get a better angle here. Okay, so Michael Johnson, it kind of starts right here with him. So you'll see him right there. That number 39 might be a pretty big checkup here. Yeah, see how fast he's catching these guys? Boom. Into lights, into 6. Gets tangled. Just a big checkup, honestly. Dylan Bates going to get involved right there. Yeah, Johnson hard into the wall. Oh, man, it just comes right down into the path of, looks like, yeah, Kaler, and then Kenny Reel, unfortunately, is just involved in that right there as well. So, man, tough break for these guys getting involved in that. But that's just the product of hard racing, right? Hard racing, a checkup can happen, all kinds of things. But right now, lap 78, this is going to make things interesting because right here, we'll go green with about 40 laps to go. So that means one more pit stop, but it could be close on fuel. So we will find out. Everyone, though, coming down on pit road. Different pit strategies happening. Mark Whitley already off pit road here. Bowie, Brandon 6. Some damage to fix, obviously, for a lot of these guys. All right. So 4th caution of the day. Really, it's only our 3rd since we've had the 2 stage breaks. So not too bad for a big track like this and a big group. So Mark Whitley up front, Brendan Bowie, Brendan 6, Joshua Sobel, there he is, P4. I know we have some Joshua Sobel fans in the chat. So there he is. Austin Salyers still in P5. I'll tell you what, these guys looking pretty sharp today. Sobel and Salyers. So really impressive runs nonetheless. A couple of more guys still on pit road. We saw Michael Johnson involved in that, obviously, with the right front damage. Looks pretty significant, but definitely not what he needed for sure, but a long way to go. Max Brady, here comes Jared Kaler. Front end damage. A lot going down here, so still time, about 4. Again, we're going to go green here with 40 laps to go. So plenty of time to kind of sort things out. But this makes it interesting. So this right here, again, they can go about 22 laps. Honestly, maybe even a little longer. on fuel considering the draft they have right now. So really 80 laps right now. We're going to go back on green. Yeah, so one more pit stop guaranteed to do as far as fuel mileage. And yeah, I mean, that's kind of where we're at. So it's going to be dicey. But either way, really, really good. Right now, though, the Cardano Summit Showdown. Tell you what, I know they always, every race and every, I think all the time, I see them over there on X. They're hosting some like open, I think they're called X Spaces. They're doing that. And they're doing all kinds of cool stuff. So always good to see them there. And there's their car today, looking very, very cool. So shout out to you guys for the Cardano fam. For the Cardano Summit Showdown today, looking very, very good. Hope you guys having a good day, having a good race, enjoying what you're watching. So impressive stuff, man. We love this atmosphere. And here we go, back green just like that. Mark Whitley up front. 40 laps to go here. Who can get this thing done? Who has enough tires to get to the end too, right? We talk about fuel. Three wide right here. Jackson Anderson right in the middle. Smecker going down low too. Salyer's up high. A lot of these guys gotta be careful right there at turn 4. Kiss that wall, it's not good. Quick lead change. Brandon Bowie up front. Brandon 6 right there as well. His teammate trying to sneak his way in. I'll tell you what, we have some heavy hitters up front. And a couple who have not won a race yet this season. 6 and Whitley I'm looking at first and foremost. And Lights, really. So what can they do? Six regains the lead right here. Right behind him, though, some big moves. Sobel, look at this Sobel over here on the outside lane. Doing great, being pushed by Anderson on the outside line. Dylan Bates are there as well. I believe Bates was involved in that last wreck. And man, here he is in P5. Very, very impressive run for Dylan Bates. So up front, still, Brandon 6 doing a very good job. You can see that snake. They all come down low to try and draft off of Brandon 6. Very similar to what you'll see at like Indianapolis and Pocono and things like that. So lots of good maneuvers. A lot of these guys, though, looking very, very good. Hungry drivers. They know, hey, if you're below that cutoff line for the top 12 for the championship, man, this is it. You've got this race right here in Atlanta next week, which we all know is a huge wild card. 3 wide, though. Matthew Punk going to try and stick it in. Came really close right there. They all know, hey, this is it. 37 laps to go in the Cardano Summit Showdown. Looking really impressive right now. Nick Light's doing great in that P2 spot. Let's ride on board real quick him. And you guys can really get a good look at what's going on in the track. Turn 3, watch turn 3. That sun is going to play a big factor for the end of this race. You can see it peeking through, and it'll get worse and worse as the race goes on. We might not finish truly under nighttime conditions, but I promise you, that sun will be a pain in the shortcoming. Every lane still working well, though. A lot of these drivers predicted that the high line, and we mentioned it before, is just not going to work. as the race goes on because it gets cooler, right? The track temp goes down, grip levels come up. Outside lane here is typically really good if you're loose, but very evident that everyone is able to make everything work today. Oh, Dylan Bates into the wall right there. He did the thing. He got real tight. Hit the wall in turn 4. Made a bit of a mess right there. Smecker was there, but got away from it. Really good move by all those guys to get around that. And that's the hard thing, right? Turn 4, in my opinion, you can get tight there. Really have to be patient on entry of 3 to make it happen. Quick update on a couple drivers right now. Michael Johnson being shown in the pits still. Man, just a heartbreak right there for him. Unfortunate. Not going to get, or have really a points day. Not going to get that win. Our pole sitter. Unfortunately, more bad luck today, but still in the hunt for that regular season championship with those points. It'll all come down to how they do in Atlanta. And quite frankly, with today's points and how much of an advantage they have, drivers like Michael Johnson, Brandon Six, even if they don't win this race, mathematically, they're most likely going to be in the championship with that one race to go. So a lot can happen today. Frankie Barroso getting kind of squirrely right there around Devin Smecker. Trevor Zelazny right there, right behind him. This pack right here kind of getting dicey. Daryl Young right here in P11. Look at this move. Marshall Harris in P11 now. Holy. Couple of drivers that, you know, hey, they're good at their certain tracks, right? But you bring them to a track like this Auto Club, and we mentioned it earlier, this is a place where they can do really, really well. Oh, yellow flag is out. Yellow flag is out. Don't see anything on track. Oh, maybe Kenny Reel here. Yeah, normally our scoring system here usually yells at me when we have somebody, you know, spun around or wrecked or whatnot, but I don't believe. Oh, hold on, Kenny Reel. Yeah, Kenny Reel. We thought maybe okay, and Christian Angel potentially involved here. Let's take a look. So Christian Angel, Kenny. Oh man, what happened here? I mean, we're talking like 28th spot. Go back a ways here still. Hold on. We'll find it for you guys. Let's take a little peekaroo here. Zoom in. So what happened? So Kenny Reel. Oh, man. So what? Huh? What? Oh, no. All right. Let's go back to right there. And I want to see if... Does Kenny come up, right? I know this angle's not the closest, but... So Kenny comes up here, which, I mean, if you think you're clear, this is a good move to make, obviously, but yeah, I mean, yeah, that's tough. That's tough to say. Christian was kind of off the wall there a little bit, but it's hard to tell if Christian came down a hair or if Kenny came up, but that angle's not going to do us any good. But unfortunate, either way, for these two guys, I believe they both going to get pretty well wrecked here, but already having 2 bad days. So that is hard to see, unfortunately. Either way, though, what does that do for this race? Lap 90. Do we see some guys come down pit road? Do we see? Yes, we do. In a good handful, too. A lot of guys, again, damage, obviously, and all kinds of stuff. So, interesting right here. So, either way, 5th caution. Right now, Dylan Bates and Scott Casorn being shown as your leaders. A bunch of guys came down pit road, obviously. So let's real quick actually bring in, if we can, Devin Smecker. I know he's in the middle of this race, but see if we can talk about that Cardano Summit Showdown if we can real quick with him. Here's the man, Devin Smecker, right now aboard that 26 Cardano machine. Just wanted to pull you in if we can real quick. Talk about that Cardano Summit Showdown, man. Talk to the folks here. About 426 watching online. If you have any words about Cardano today.
Yeah, thanks for pulling me in, Steve. Today has been a race of all time, one of them. It's a mixture between your good old 1.5 miler and a super speedway. Really hard to pass. You really got to protect the outside, but you can eat up your right rear doing that. So just crazy racing out here. I did need that yellow. It's going to hurt us a little bit, but we'll see what happens here at the end. But super excited to be running here in the Cardano Summit Showdown at Auto Club. It's a wonderful track. This car race is really good here. Cardano Summit Showdown's going down right now this weekend in Dubai, probably the coolest city in the world, the fastest growing city in the world, the most modern city in the world. So I hope all the Cardano folks are having a great time. Very privileged to have the Doom on Hydra car this weekend, and man, probably one of my all-time favorite paint schemes, and I bet it looks really good with that sun hitting it right now. Now all we got to do is park it in victory lane.
Yes, sir. Hey, man, so far, good job. We'll see you towards the end, man. Good luck.
Thank you.
And there he is right now. Devin Smacker looking pretty good. Again, lap 91 and working our 5th caution of the day. Right now, some pit strategy and some unique things and getting us back going. And here we go. Lap 91. So 29 laps, or 28 laps to go, really, once we hit the green flag here. So here we go. Bates and 6 up front. Scott Gasor, Nick Lights. All kinds of different players up front here. And here we go. Green flag once more is in the hands of the officials. And we are back green. Big move right there. I think 6 might have gotten loose. I saw some tire smoke. I don't know if that was from him or somebody else, but that's a really close battle here. We're going to see a lot of these guys doing what they can do here to stay up front. Gasorn looking really good here in the middle. We're going to be 3 wide to Lasny. Almost 4 wide here as they fall back a little bit. Potentially old tires versus new. And Dylan Bates up front right now in P1. This is a guy, I'll tell you what, he's in my list of guys who, hey, I know this man can win. It's just a matter of when. I really feel that way. Dylan Bates is skilled enough to get the job done. He just needs a race to kind of go his way. And so far, I'll tell you what, he has looked very promising. Dylan Bates in P1. Fantastic job so far. Couple of more guys behind him. Marshall Harris right now fighting in this 12th spot in the middle of Scott Gasorn here and Brandon Bowie. Really tight right there. Good stuff. We're going to ride on board real quick. Mark Whitley. This is a great shot at what Mark is dealing with here as he climbs back up to the front top 10. He is not out of this thing for sure. That sun, you're going to see it. Oh, man. Oh, yeah. It's going to get real crazy. A race like this, you want to turn your graphics down all the way so that that glare does not actually affect you, because it certainly can. And Mark right now doing a great job right now in P10, tracking down these drivers to get himself back up in front. Brandon Bowie behind him. Awesome job so far by that Harpoon Design team. Oh, a little bit of squeezing right there, Matthew Pont. Good stuff so far. Further on back. Bunch of these guys, a couple of guys struggling right here. Andrew Phipps I'm looking at. Man, really fast car today. Again, just kind of, I think he's just gotten kind of trapped within the machine that is Auto Club. This is just one of those places that you can kind of get trapped and not have that clean air, right? And kind of just be stuck in this, mid-pack. It's just so hard to pass, right? That can be the case. Daryl Young also involved here. He's looking pretty good here right now in the 15th. Up 13 spots from where he qualified. Thomas George, the same thing, really. Damage earlier on with Villalobos, actually, but they are all doing pretty good. Decent recovery runs just outside that top 10. So they are on their way to it. Dylan Bates, just in that short time span, man, he fell back a little bit. Right now to P5 on the down inside. Outside lane, though, is really, really working. Going to try and squeeze through. He does. Wow. Great move right there. A good spotter can make that happen. Really impressive job for Dylan Bates. Anderson not going away either. He's right there in P5. Really tight. Ooh, really, really tight. 3 wide here. Matthew Fleming going to push his teammate Jackson Anderson. Fleming, also a guy who has finished inside the top 12 or has gotten to the top 12 for the championship in every season he's run. In that 88 today, though, looking pretty hard to try and do that right now. Looking outside in. Again, a couple of points days today and in Atlanta next week. Can all change that, but again, the elusive win. If that happens, that's it. That could happen just the same. But man, 3 and 2 wide all over the place. These guys are not giving up. Nick Lights now to the lead right here with 22 laps to go. We always joke, Nick Lights, man, he's good for one winner. He's good for one win a season. Always manages to get one, and today hasn't gotten one yet this season. Looks really good in the playoff hunt as far as points, so no concern there really for him, but definitely wants to win, as do all of these guys, right? So very impressive. Could get it done today. Brandon Bowie way down low. Was 4 wide there for a second with Dylan Bates up high. Things are getting dicey. Again, everyone still has to pit once more for fuel. So when does that happen, right? Do we see the same thing we saw in stage 2, I believe, where the second your fuel window opens up, you come down? And that fuel window opens up, I mean now really, but definitely next lap with 20 to go. We will see. A lot of these guys, man, 2, 3, and 4 wide. The whole track is being used, and we thought it wouldn't be like that as we continued. But what a race this has been so far, man. I'll tell you what, really impressive. Kenny Reel down low right there, going to be on the tail end of the lead lap, going to be driven past here in just a second. But as he sits, he should be the lucky dog candidate if a caution were to come out. Good stuff so far, though, for Nick Lights. Brandon 6, Frankie Barroso, all of a sudden in P3. So coming on strong as of late. Again, he missed a couple of races earlier on in the season. Kind of put himself down towards the bottom half of those top 12 drivers trying to get into the championship hunt. But a decent Long Beach, and right now looking pretty good to wrap up this Auto Club race, the Cardano Summit Showdown. We are getting down to it right now. So, excuse me. So Kenny Reel, my bad. Kenny Reel is not, he's actually 7 laps down. So right now the lucky dog candidate would be Grant Salzano, currently in 28th spot. So he is the driver in that number 1 spot if he were to get a caution. A bunch of these guys in the back of the field here, unfortunately, 20th on down, really either have some damage or just really not having having a good day, unfortunately. Damage or, slowed pace cars. So that's not a good day for them, but everyone making it work well. Brandon 6 gets the lead again here from Nick Lights, but now Mark Whitley, he's right there too. Slide job across the nose of Brandon 6 and gets it done. Nick Lights going to be down low. Tries to squeeze it in on the inside apron. Gets the job done right there. So Mark Whitley up to P1. Bowie in P2. I'll tell you what, 17 laps to go. We know a green flag pit stop has to happen, but they are not racing like there needs to be one. Oh my word. But that's the thing, right? If this thing stays green, that pit stop is absolutely huge. It'll definitely thin the field out, you know, which is nice for these guys as far as, you know, caution prevention, I guess you could say, but cannot make any mistakes when you do so, right? Brandon Bowie, we saw him have that little spin out earlier on. Here we go. Now they begin. 16 laps to go. Joseph Mealy Stubblefield and Scott Casorin all come down pit road here. This is 24th, 5th, and 6th. 16 laps to go. This is the thing, too. You probably don't take tires here. If you do, you probably do what 6 did in Stage 2 to win Stage 2, right? You take the right side tires, and then off you go. A lot of these guys might take no tires. Here comes Murphy Esports, Nick Lights, Devin Smecker, Andrew Phipps as well. Nice and clean off pit road. Looking really, really good by these guys. So what do these guys do? Nick Lights obviously was just in that top spot. Do you take tires here? Do you take right side tires? You can put on right side tires and fill the car with fuel in the same go. 4 tires usually takes a little bit longer. There they go. Right side tires go on. The tires for sure are at a premium right now. So Mark Whitley up front, Brandon Bowie in P2. We know how fast Mark Whitley is. And I said it earlier on, this is a place where he can win. He won his championship here, his first of 2 at this track. He can get this done today for sure. Brandon Bowie coming on strong with Brandon 6. But the question is, when will they pit? 14 laps to go here. Everyone has to once more. Here they come. Brandon Bowie comes down pit road. Brandon 6, Zelazny, Anderson. Oh, Frankie Barroso in the background did the same thing Bowie did earlier. That's going to kill him, unfortunately. A lot of time lost right there for Frankie. But here comes a huge pack of cars right here. What do they do? Does 6 take 2 tires like he did earlier on to win Stage 2? There they go. Right side's going on. I doubt the lefts go on. What does Bowie do? Right sides as well. 4 tires it is. 2 for Bowie, 4 for 6. Brandon 6 has saved a set of tires here. 13 laps to go. I'll tell you what, he is going to be flying on track. He knows what it takes. Here comes the leader, though, Mark Whitley. I've never known Mark Whitley to be the kind of guy to take tires late in a race. So we'll see what he does here. Right sides go on. Max Brady, Daryl Young on pit road. Damn pylon in the way of the cars. Mark already off. A bunch of these guys have damage. Brady, unfortunately. Daryl Young coming off. Looking good here. Austin Salyers right now inherits the lead. 12 laps to go. And again, Brandon 6 with those 4 tires definitely cost him on time, but you can make up a lot of time there on speed. With 11 laps to go. And also, too, if a yellow flag comes out, guess what? Brandon 6 is in the catbird seat for sure. Thomas George looking pretty good, too, right there. William Griffith on pit road. Surrendering P7 right there. Man, a good effort for him this race. But when do your leaders come down? Everyone has to come down to pit for fuel. It's just a matter of when. Oh no. Getting word, Mark Whitley sped on pit road. Unfortunate right there, man. That is catastrophic. A man who probably could have won this race. Just like that. The money stop. Just like that, folks. It can go away. Going to come down to service penalty. Man, just heartbreak right there for Mark Whitley. James Kaufman on pit road right here. Look at that car. Looking pretty clean right here. Austin Salyer's down pit road as well. Pretty easy flow into the pit road, so good stuff. Marshall Harris, hold on. P1 here for Marshall Harris. Has the lead. Holy. Have you ever? Take a look at this number 21 RC Cola machine in the front. Holding off Matthew Pont valiantly for that lead. Does Marshall Harris have enough fuel to get to the end and steal a win? Could you imagine? Oh my word. Matthew Pont right behind him. Harris just too damn fast. Dohar, look at this, in third spot. Maybe doing the same thing he did at Indianapolis to win that race. Bunch of guys right here, though, in the front. Angel, Brandon Bowie. We saw him pit. Right now, he looks like he's the one in the best seat to win this race. If the top four have to pit, guess what? Brandon Bowie is in that best spot right there. He took the two right side tires. And obviously, we saw Mark Whitley spat on pit road. That's unfortunate right there. Nick Lights is there, though. In Zelazny again. 8 laps to go. This can happen. If the top four has to pit for fuel, it's going to come down to Lights, Bowie, one of these guys right here. So unbelievable. But right now, we're going to focus on your leader, Marshall Harris. 26 seconds right now ahead of the leaders who did pit. Right now, though, holding off Matthew Pont. Looks like Marshall Harris is going to surrender P1, comes down pit road, so Matthew Pont will be the leader right here. And Brandon Bowie, man, he has come a long way. I'll tell you what, we talked about him earlier. Had a great start of the season, middle season, didn't really do too hot. But then right now, has kind of just made it all work. And Brandon 6, again, took the 4 tires. But he's just way behind here. 30 seconds back. Bowie and them are about 6 seconds ahead, 5 seconds ahead. So, interesting call on the 4 tires there. Matthew Pont now comes down pit road. So Dohar going to be your leader as we see him. Riding aboard Grant Salzano. Wonder if this is the old, hey, you know what? Clutch it up. I'm going to push you. It looks like that's going to be the case. Tyler trying to do, holding at 8,000 RPM, man. Uh-oh. Can Tyler do it again and save the fuel? How funny would that be? You've got Grant Salzano right behind him, his teammate, trying to push him and to make up that speed differential. He wouldn't be out here if he didn't think he could do it. So we got to watch out for this. Grant pushing his teammate Dohar here. Okay, interesting call. Brandon Bowie in P2, though. Nick Lights, Zelazny's right here, too. They are catching Bowie a little bit. So this is going to come down to, man, does Dohar yet again have enough fuel to get to the end? And if he doesn't, can Bowie hold off these guys behind him? Nick Lights, Zelazny. Really impressive stuff. Dohar 14 seconds ahead, obviously losing a lot of time here. but he's just trying to manage that gap. 3 laps to go. Yeah, Nick Lights and Trevor Delazny are right. They're getting really, really close. This might be a shootout. If Tyler can't make it, Nick Lights might be there on the back end of Brandon Bowie. And there's that sun. 3 laps to go here, 2 really at the line. Inching ever so close. Delazny fell way off right there. I'm not sure what happened to him, but man, he was just pushing Nick Lights. Must have had an issue, unfortunately, but getting really, really close. Does Dohar have enough? Can he do it again in fuel-saving mode? A lap and a half away for Dohar, being pushed by Grant Salzano's teammate. I've never seen this before, but you know what? Completely legal. Why not? Brandon Bowie in P2. He might get this win stolen again. If Dohar can get this thing done, the white flag is out, sponsored by Cardano. No, he doesn't. Not going to be enough for Tyler Dohar. He is out of fuel. The Cardano Summit Showdown comes down to the last lap. Dohar is out of fuel. He is not going to win this race. Brandon Bowie going to come around, turns 1. Can Nick Lights get to Brandon Bowie? I don't think he can in a half a lap. Dohar, there he is. Brandon Bowie takes the lead away from Tyler Dohar. Tried to save the fuel like he did in Indianapolis, but Tyler Dohar just not going to get it done. Nick Lights, so close, but not going to get there. Brandon Bowie, season champion from season 3, and right now going to be your Cardano Summit Showdown winner. Here he is, crosses the line, and wins at Auto Club. Brandon Bowie is your winner. What an unbelievable job. Man, heart-wrenching last couple laps here, but Bowie gets it done. Couple of huge mistakes, obviously, from some big-name drivers. Mark Whitley sped through the pits. Definitely a favorite to win this race. Brandon Six takes 4 tires at the last pit stop. Could not get through the field, but Brandon Bowie gets the job done. Unbelievable job here for Brandon Bowie. Top 5, Bowie, Nick Lights, Devin Sprecher, Trevor Zelazny, and Jackson Anderson round out the top 5. Fleming, P6, Villalobos, P7, 6, P8, George, P9, and Daryl Young, a top 10. Unbelievable job by all these guys. Brandon Bowie in that Gremlins cards machine for the breast cancer awareness. You love to see it. Brandon Bowie, our second time champion this season next to Blaze Crawford, gets the job done, and all of a sudden, Brandon Bowie looking mighty dangerous. We'll come back in just a second, folks. Stick around. All right, folks, welcome back to the conclusion of the Cardano Summit Showdown here at Auto Club. And man, what an exhilarating finish to this race. Whew, I am out of breath. Brandon Bowie with the win, but we're going to bring in Devin Smecker, who finishes in P3. We always go 3, 2, 1 in the post-race interviews, so let's bring him in real quick. Where is my man Devin Smecker? Here he is. Here he is, Devin Smecker, man, looking good today. 20 in that 26, P3 on the board. A good finish. I know you wanted more, but man, really, really good effort today.
Yeah, Steve, you know, this is probably the best effort we've put together all year, most complete race. I know we won Kansas, but we kind of backed into that one, and tonight we ran top 10 all night long in our Doom on Hydra Ford Mustang Dark Horse. So super thrilled for Nick, for everyone on the 26 team. Joseph had a nice recovery. He's on a real tight point spot going into the finale next week, so he got a good finish. He beat the guys he needed to beat. That last run there, just on 2 tires, didn't really have anything for Bowie. It was basically a mini plate race, and really, really hard to make up any ground when everyone's basically going full throttle. So I had a lot of fun tonight. Probably my favorite paint scheme I've ever run, and I hope I get to run it again. But you know, from Argentina to the Emirates, the whole world is excited for the Cardano Summit this weekend. And one thing they all have in common is everyone loves playing the classic game Doom on Hydra. So super happy with how everything happened tonight. Thanks to Brian Murphy, all of our sponsors, Drip Drops, Cardano, Hosky, just everybody. And thank you to John Pork and Freak Bob.
Yes, sir, man. Good stuff today, dude. We'll catch you next week in Atlanta. Last race of the regular season, man. Good stuff today.
Let's do it.
There he is, man. Devin Smecker. Classy man, always looking good in those paint schemes, man. Good stuff. Nick Lights, though, we're going to bring him in next. Nick Light's going to be his teammate. Man, so close today to get the job done. There he is. Haven't talked to Nick Lights in a long time, but man, looking good today. Look, man, earlier on looked very, very fast at number 2, Cardano and Hosky Machine. Just impressive all around. I mean, I didn't see anything wrong in your race, but man, you just so close. But P2, I'll tell you what, dude, that win's coming, man. Looking really good for the playoffs too.
Yeah, I hope so. It was an up and down day for sure. And our number 2, Cardano, Hosky, Ford, Dark Horse. Shout out to those guys. I know they sponsored today's race as well. So the Cardano Summit Showdown, and special paint scheme with Devin as well. But yeah, I mean, it was an up and down day for sure. Didn't get the stage points that we needed, but managed to come home in T2. So pretty excited about that.
Yes, sir, man. Looking pretty good, obviously, for the points as well. So nothing too concerning entering Atlanta next week. But hey, that win definitely would be kind of nice, right? So if you don't mind, thank our sponsors real quick, our friends and family. Then we'll let you go, man.
Yeah, shout out to Cardano, Hosky, all those guys, Brian, Murphy Esports. Devin did a good job. So did Joe. Great recovery for Joe. Yeah, and you for putting this on. It's been fun so far. Ready for the playoffs, and I got a race at Homestead this weekend.
I was about to bring that up. Yeah.
Infinity car, so getting ready for that next.
Looking good, man. Yeah. Where can they follow you on X? I know today we're actually multi-streaming on X and on YouTube. So where can they find you?
Okay, yeah. Just Nick Lights on all socials. I'll be there. I got a special Halloween paint scheme with the DGM racing team, so excited to run that. And yeah, follow along if you want the updates.
Nice. Good stuff, man. Hey, good luck in that race. Then we'll catch you next Tuesday, man, for the regular season championship. Good stuff, dude.
Appreciate it. Love you.
There he is, Nick Lights, P2, man. Another great guy. P1, though, the man of the hour. Here he is. Brandon Bowie gets his 2nd win of the season in kind of dramatic fashion. I mean, right now we saw, is Tyler Dohar going to do the same thing as Indy, right? Hold on to the gas and getting pushed by his teammate. Like, what can this bring? And then obviously, as we saw some guys, some heavy hitters in my mind, having some issues, right? Mark Whitley having the speeding penalty, Brandon 6, I guess, taking 4 tires and just not going anywhere. Like, a couple of question marks, on my end as a commentator, but either way, man, You got the job done. You held off Nick Lights, and as I was saying in the race, the season kind of started great for you. Kind of had like a summer slump in a way, for the season, and then here you are again. You're back to winning races, top threes, same state showdown winner by the way. So everything's coming into play right now, man. How do you feel?
Oh man, I feel really, really good. I think I said it last week. I said, if everything works out the way it's supposed to, and I can kind of stay out of trouble, then there's a chance, right? I think honestly, if Whitley doesn't have the speeding penalty, probably makes it even more interesting, because then technically me and him would probably have to work together to not allow Nick, Trevor, and Devin to catch us. So it would have been really interesting, almost like a drafting, I guess, in the sense, on a super speedway or something like that, where you kind of had to work together with people to kind of get the break, and then coming down to like the white flag or 2 laps to go, you kind of make your move and try to make it stick. So yeah, I mean, it just so happened that everything kind of played into my favor. I was just telling another driver, I was like, I didn't even know that Tyler was in the lead. The whole time I thought I was the leader, until somebody said, hey, you're not the leader. I was like, what? Yes, I am. And he's like, no, you're not. Tyler's the leader. I was like, wow, he's going to do this again. And then I noticed, I was really starting to catch him. I was like, okay, he must be getting really close. And the next thing you know, I caught him off a 2. I was like, okay, he's out. So I was like, all right, now I just got to try and block Nick as much as I can and try not to let him get to me. And that was nerve-wracking as well. Just, I'm a solo car trying to, control everything. And it's, I tell you what, this one feels pretty daggone good, especially with the top 3 last week. I just got to contain the momentum, and there's a chance I can make it to the Final 4, which is, of course, the ultimate goal.
Yeah, man, really impressive run today again. Just overall, really good race, minimal cautions, and just a lot of good racing. Auto Club always provides a banger from my point of view, and another good one today. So awesome stuff, dude. Hey, give us a shout out real quick to your friends, family, sponsors, man. Who you got today?
Yeah, I got the first one. October is breast cancer awareness month. So just make sure you can donate at nationalbreastcancer.org. I got to thank Gremlins Cards for coming on board as well. You can reach out to them, or go on the website, I should say, at tinyurl.com/Gremlins Cards. Use promo code Bowie Esports 20 for 20% off there. I got to thank Battle Beaver. Got to thank Boosted, Circle B Diecast, Bowie Esports. You, of course, for not only broadcasting, but this is also your league as well. Honestly, I gotta thank the commentators, the competitors, I should say, because there was some really, really hard racing. But for the most part, it was pretty clean. So usually with tracks like this, this is very similar to Michigan. Mm-hmm. You get some big wrecks, and I did see there maybe was one big wreck, but for the most part, it was hard, clean racing. So shout out to them for putting on a good show.
Yes, sir, man. Really impressive job again. 2 wins, obviously looking really good for that playoff. Some extra playoff points there for you too. So next week at Atlanta, going to be a wild card race, obviously, to get or to really set the order for our championship 12 and beyond. So good stuff, man. We'll see you next week, dude.
All right, thanks.
There he goes, Brandon Bowie with a huge win today, his second on the season. And man, what an awesome race today. Big shout out today, obviously, for, and like you said, the competitors, right? You guys really put on a hell of a show. I know a lot of you, come back and watch the race afterwards. So I want to shout out you guys. Man, I'll tell you what, the success of this league goes back to the drivers, and they really do a really good job week in, week out. So really impressive stuff today. Good to see. But today, awesome win for Brandon Bowie. Right now, though, high above Auto Club. That's going to be at the penultimate race of the ASRA Harpoon Design Cup Series regular season is now over, with Brandon Bowie as your winner. Next week, join us at 9 p.m. Eastern Time for Atlanta, the newly repaved Atlanta. So basically like a mini Daytona. That'll be quite the ride to determine our top Championship 12 and beyond as far as the contenders and challenger playoffs. A lot of good times next week, folks. Again, huge thanks to everybody watching today on YouTube and also on X today as well. Right now, we sat at 479 people watching live, concurrent viewership, and man, we cannot be happier for that. So big thanks to you. Make sure if you can, hey, like and subscribe the video on the YouTube side and on X. Follow us on X at ASRA iRacing, and we'll see you then. Probably multi-stream every week from this point on. Why not? It's been a lot of fun. So we'll catch you guys next week, 9 p.m. here on the channel, YouTube and X. And hey, Brandon Bowie, your winner today. Huge thanks to Cardano for being the sponsor today. Cardano Summit Showdown. Go and check them out on X, on the social medias. Cardano community, Hosky, man, premier setup shop, always bangers that they give these drivers, as well as Harpoon Design, our title sponsor. Can't forget about them. Go and check them out, harpoondesign.com. But for me, folks, in race day and ASRA, my name is Steve. Well, guys, we'll see you guys next week. It's been fun, Auto Club. Put on one hell of a show again. Brandon Bowie, your winner today. Have a good night, folks. We love you. Take care.